Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Rapid Done right here on Rapid Television. And of course, it is now time for the big conversation. My name is Victor. Okay.
And my name is Martha Alu. Good morning. This is the 9 o'clock conversation. I guess it's kicking in that my birthday is today.
Oh, yes, it is.
It's starting to kick in already. But, the whole anxious thing, everyone just checking in. It's giving celebrity,
That's
But
right.
yes, it's the 9 o'clock conversation. And we go on to discussing several matters, especially every other matter we discuss here is important, but in the last couple of weeks, the conversation centered around the welfare of workers in Nigeria has become imperative. The Nigerian Labour Congress was pushing for about 154,000 naira minimum wage, seeing the increase in the cost of transportation and all other household all other things that would make for the comfort of the workforce here in Nigeria. Today, we also spoke about the increase. I think it was Makinde was proposing 10,000 naira being given to workers in his state just to cushion the effect of the hardship they now experience. But yes, on a broader level, we will be discussing the welfare of workers, especially when it comes to certain kind of agreements.
Very true. And of course, we'll spotlight more. Here in Nigeria, we see that many banks actually hire contract staff to do the same work as permanent employees. But what happens is that these contract staff actually have fewer benefits, less job security, and limited promotion opportunities. And these workers are often hired through agencies, which saves the banks money, but leaves staff feeling undervalued. Flora Osarugwe, a former banker, recently highlighted how these staff drive business growth, yet are excluded from profit sharing and career advancement. And of course, this particular practice isn't just in the banking sector. It also reflects wider issues in Nigeria's private sector about fairness, about job security, and workers' rights. And today we're going to be having a conversation with Flora, and she's going to be sharing with us some of her experiences, while she was working in the banking sector. Hi, Flora. Good morning to you, and welcome to the conversation.
Hi, Flora. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the show this morning.
Flora,
we can't hear you.
Could you try unmuting your microphone, please, because we can't hear you at the moment. Please try unmute your microphone.
Yes, we can't hear you at all.
The shock in your face right now. Good.
Thank you.
Good.
That's good.
Can you hear me now?
No, loud and clear.
Oh,
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you, Victor.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Flora.
I don't know if it is from my end. Your audio was going off and on.
Okay.
Maybe you could check that, or let me know if it's from my end.
Is it better now? Because we can hear you clearly.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I can also hear you now.
All right. Awesome.
Thank you too.
All right. So, Flora, tell us about your experience as a contract staff.
Okay. First off, I've worked across 2 banks in Nigeria, 2 commercial banks.
Okay.
In Nigeria. I hope that you can still hear me.
Yes, certainly.
So let me start. Okay, let me start with the treatment. From my video that went viral, some persons called me and said, Flora, we are thinking that was an exaggeration, saying there are people that are, contract staff are made to eat in a separate lunchroom, and they have just 10 minutes to eat their lunch and everything. Okay. So I feel like there is need for me to clarify this. Okay. Some of these experiences are my experiences.
Okay.
The 10 minutes experience is my experience. So I went to the lunchroom on one of the days, and a supervisor walked in and said, Flora, you are not eating like a contract staff. I was a contract staff at the time.
Wow.
And I went like, how do contract staff eat? You have to school me on that. She said, you don't have more than 10 minutes to have your lunch. And I'm like, how am I supposed to? You, of course, can still see that I have food in my plate. I'm still eating. It's not like I have my phone that maybe I'm pressing for or distracted by other things. I came here to eat, and I'm doing just that. We don't use phone at the time. I understand they still don't use phone now.
Okay.
You don't have access to phone. You don't have access to internet. So the 10 minutes was my experience. I can count. I actually wrote down 5 experiences. There was one that a contract staff was made to come to work. He was made to come to work. He had called him sick. He called in sick in the morning that he could not come to work. He was honestly very sick. But his supervisor insisted that he comes to work. His wife had taken him to the hospital that morning because he was very sick. But the woman, her name is Glory. I'm going to be giving you names, receipts, so that if you want to do your investigation, please go ahead. In fact, I am challenging you to do your investigation. I'm challenging the Edo State government to carry out this investigation. I'm challenging the Guarantee Trust Bank to carry out this investigation. This woman made this young man come to work. So because he was already in the hospital, his wife had to bring him back to work. He came with, what is this thing called? Cannula. Have you seen how they call him? Yeah, to work. It was later on that we discovered that the doctor had advised against him leaving the hospital at the time. Because this hospital that he came this morning, he was supposed to have even come days before, because according to reports, he had, I don't remember the type of ulcer they say he had. His stomach, the lining, there was sore, there were open wounds in his stomach that needed urgent attention. But Glory, his supervisor, insisted that he comes to work. So he was even thinking that he's a come to work, show face, and then go back to the hospital. He came with the company, in company of his wife. And when they got there, Glory, trying to remember her surname right now, maybe I remember before the show ends.
Okay.
Insisted that he would work. See, this guy could not, it was not up to 1 hour. This guy collapsed. And before they could rush him back to the hospital, he died.
Whoa.
He died. And then, yes, he actually died.
Wow.
And then the bank, see, I have to be very factual with this, because I cannot say categorically that Guarantee Trust Bank was, informed about, what really transpired at the branch level. I'm not sure exactly if they are aware, but this was under Segun Agbaje's administration.
Okay.
Glory insisted he comes to work, and he came. I put it to you that anybody can go to, it happened in Benin City, Edo State. Guarantee Trust Bank, they have just about 10 branches in the whole of Benin. So it's not going to be hard for you. I'm giving you clue so you understand how deep this is. Because my video that went viral, people were thinking that this is too much, when in the actual sense, that was not even 1% of what these contract staff are meant to go through. So this guy died, and the wife, because she's poor, she's just, I think she had a child at the time or two. This Glory that I'm talking about, she's very influential. I need to say that. I need to put that out. She's very influential. She's very powerful. She's highly connected, and of course, very wealthy. Insisted that he came, and this whole matter was swept under the carpet. There was no justice for Max. There was nothing that was done. The bank did not do anything. They didn't pay him compensation. Like I said, I am not 100% sure that the bank was, in the know of exactly what happened. That Glory made him come to work even while he was sick.
All right.
This woman,
Go on, just so we don't go on recounting. Of course, as the show progresses, you will tell us a few of these experiences that you've had.
So yes, private independent journalists, you can go investigate it. It happened in Benin City. This was 2017 or 2018. I think I've given enough clue. 2017, 2018. Yes, he died in Benin. Now another case of this treatment is a lady that was she was pregnant. She was pregnant at the time. Back in the days, as a woman, you cannot be pregnant in the first 2 years of your employment.
Okay.
So this lady joined, already pregnant. She lied to, scale through the process and everything.
Okay.
So she came in pregnant, and then a few months later, it was discovered that she was pregnant, and her supervisor, who is also a lady, I don't remember her name right now, who is also a lady, told her that after giving birth, you are going to come to work. We are just going to give you a few days off, and then you will resume work because you are not qualified for maternity leave just yet.
Okay.
they had disagreements, and because her entire pregnancy process was very stressful, she was new, and a whole lot of things were new to her. She's trying to process a lot of things at the same time. So when it was time for her to give birth, she was booked for a cesarean operation. So she used CS to give birth to her child.
Okay.
And this woman told her that she's going to come to work just the way they have agreed. And this lady was trying to persuade her that, okay, she'll need some more days because it was a CS. She did not know that she was going to give birth through CS. This woman, again, insisted that she comes to work. So this was, I think it was a week, 5 working days. I think it was 7 working days that they gave her. So one of the days, while she was trying to climb the staircase, she collapsed and her wound opened.
Wow.
Although she did not die, but she was rushed back to the hospital and everything. See, I could go on and on. The day that I lost my dad, and I think it was a day or two later, my supervisor at the time asked me to come to work. It was still the same glory. She asked me to come to work, and I told her I was mourning at the time. In fact, I became sick. I lost my voice. I could not speak. I could not talk. Like, you can't hear me. I'll not be audible. And then I was attending to customers. I told her it's not going to be possible for me to, use this way to be speaking to customers. They won't even hear me. She insisted. In fact, some of my colleagues were calling. She had sent a mail to HRO. She told them you absconded from work and everything. I did not even answer because I was even sick. There's no way I would have even be able to come to work.
Of course.
All right.
So yeah.
Go. So let's just ask another question, because it's one thing to have this as your personal experience,
yeah.
And it's another thing for your personal experience, and it's another thing for this to be like a common practice across banks. Because from your video,
I'm telling you that it is a common practice. I'm telling you, go to the video that went viral. I made subsequent posts. Just go through the comment section. You see people. There was one that even sent me a mail. I was reading 2 days ago. Okay. This guy said he collapsed at work, and he was queried for not taking permission before collapsing. See, these things are real. So I was trying to process that. No, this is not possible. This is not. He sent me a mail trail between him and the group head of the HR of his bank, where they were investigating. Of course, before somebody will put that courage together to send that kind of mail to the group head of your HR, it means that he had, receipts. I requested for further, receipts, and I've not gone back to the mail to check. I'm telling you, this is a common practice. It's one of them. I think I pinned it to one of the sessions. She was assaulted, like the supervisor slapped her physically, used hand, common hand, wasn't for face. This is a common practice. I'm trying to highlight to you that this is what happens because these people do not have a channel. Mm-hmm. They do not have anybody to speak to.
Okay, speaking about channels. So let's just be clear on the conversation, because I know that some of these banks also have a system to check in the excesses of certain workers. I might not be extremely familiar with the bank, but I know that there's a line of command, there's the chain of command, ABO, branch manager, assistant branch manager, and all of that area, whatever, how it operates in the bank. So is there no channel whatsoever existing within the bank where you can send a report? Because you made mention of the fact that a contract staff sent a message to his group head. Is there no system in place so that when you have grievances like this within the banking system, you can send a complaint? Who are you supposed to send that complaint to? Or are you saying that both the heads in the bank and the branch where you're working are complicit to all of the events that take place as regards contract staff?
Okay, let me state it here that these people, first of all, I need to put it out here again that they are largely afraid, and the fear is coming from the people that they are working directly under.
Okay.
So if the supervisor, for instance, in the case that I mentioned, one of the fencing, the guy that fenced that I mentioned, if he reports to the group head, and the group head of the HRO sends a mail to the person, that assaulted or that queried the guy, the person is going to bounce it back on him.
Okay.
The person is going to either set a trap for him to fall and see, you know, this work, there is no way you can avoid trap. You will always fall inside. They either set a trap for you, they set you up, or they do something else that will get you into trouble. And then they raise alarm that you did one or two that you did not do. And then they look for a way to sack you, or they look for a way to, you know, just rope you into some kind of confusion. So these people know the implications of this thing. It is extreme cases that, you know, people like get it up to here that in my video I mentioned that I blew a whistle. About a case. So this woman, we were coming to work like every day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just continuously like that. And in one of the days, the branch where we were working was due for fumigation. So normally we expected that we will not come to work, but this woman said we were going to work that Saturday. It was a Saturday, and we're like, how are we going to work inside fumigation? Then she said we'll just do 2 hours and then we are back home. But the fumigation was so intense, it was so harsh that we were choking. We were inside. Like she would say, open window, but we don't have window now. We want to see window stay open. And we'll be fine. People were coughing, people were choking inside. I just took my phone and, you know, I blew that whistle, and that was it. So the Saturday and Sunday work ended. That was how, the Saturday was okay. I mean, it should not, these people are human beings, and working every day is going to make them, you know, fatigue, and it's going to rub off on the customers. Definitely. The customers are going to suffer because these people are already exhausted. They can't even give much. They can't give what they don't have. They've been using. There's not been time to rest.
All right, Flora.
So, yeah.
Now, Flora, in your video as well, you mentioned that contract staffs are very much undervalued. That your video that went viral, yeah. Tell us more about that. Tell us more about that as well. When it comes to the opportunities that also get to have a career growth opportunities as well.
Remuneration.
When it comes to what?
When it comes to the opportunities, growth opportunities, and also remuneration as well.
Okay. So let's talk about remuneration first. These people are paid way less. If you want me to mention figures, I could go ahead.
Please do
that. They are really paid poorly. And in terms of growth, there is no room for growth. There's no room, absolutely no room. These people don't have, there's no promotion, there's no appraisal, there is no going forward, pushing, there is no access, they don't have access to loans, they don't have access to business loans, they don't have access to education loan, they don't have access to nothing. Even HMO, their HMO is also limited and restricted. Contract staff HMO in Nigeria as at this time, up until this time, it's been like that up until this time. I understand it's still the same. What they can only have access to is doing malaria tests. Anything outside malaria tests, paracetamol, they give you paracetamol and the rest of. See, I'm sure you are on live, right? You are going to post it if this is.
Of course, we're live.
Yes. They can come out and debunk everything I'm saying. ICSL, BLA, White Cleon, what's the other name again? There are so many of them. They can come out and debunk it. Everything I'm saying here is what is happening to them. They don't have access to nothing. These people, like from their salary, they have to still pay out of pocket. People say, and go and grow yourself, upgrade yourself. Most of these banks, what they do is they pay for courses, foreign courses, local courses for their core staff, for their professional staff. But you see the contract staff, there is absolutely nothing. These people don't even have access to their phones. They don't have access to internet.
How long?
They don't even know.
How long does the contract last for? Because they are contract staff members. So how long is an average contract staff engaged in a bank?
Okay, so this last set of contract staff that was laid off by First Bank, some of them 12 years, some of them 10 years,
12
some
years.
of them 30. Yes.
Do they sign the contract for the number of years they'll be working with the bank, or it just goes on and on and on?
No. So the initial agreement is for you to have this contract for 2 years.
Okay.
So after 2 years, some of these companies will say they want to renew your contract.
Okay.
So they renew it for another 2 years. In the case of this first bank, I've gone through some documents that some of them presented. The first renewal was done, and subsequently there was no renewal. They just left them, no growth, no form of remuneration, no form of getting back. See, these people are not seen as
don't you think
human.
that they also share in the blame, Flora? Because when you say there's supposed to be like a renewal of the contract that you have with the bank, it means that if the contract
I didn't hear you.
I said, don't you think they also share in the blame? Because if you are aware of the fact that after 2 years your contract is supposed to be renewed just so that you can be named or be given a role, and after 2 years you are not being renewed, your contract is not renewed, you go on and on and on for 12 years without actually calling the attention of the bank. Don't you think that they also share in a part of the blame? Because we're trying to be very logical in the sense that we're not throwing the blame alone to the bank, but the contract staff themselves, they also share a part of the blame. If your contract is not renewed or your title is not yet named in the bank, don't you think that they are supposed to put a foot forward to the bank and demand what is right or what is due of them?
Okay. From the beginning of this conversation, we established that they do not have a proper channel, right? That they can, come out and say, these people should fight for us. Because some of these people actually clamor for this renewal. They do.
Okay.
I was privy to one of the Telegram group where these people were shouting, we are due, and the company is silent, radio silence everywhere. These people keep shouting, they kept shouting. I'm reading the chat, I'm seeing where they're shouting, we are due, and nobody is answering. So what actually happens is the banks, they just come together and make this policy that is convenient for them. This is how I see it. And maybe because I've been a victim, they just come up with these policies, and mostly what they care about is their corporate image. What they want you people to see outside. That's what they care about. They just come up with these policies because there is no avenue for these people to come out and shout and say, please, we have been clamoring for this renewal. We have been saying they should renew it. They've not answered. Please, can you help us take this up? Yeah. Nobody is available to take this up. We have the Chartered Institute of CIBN, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. If customers, we have Association of Bank Customers of Nigeria. So if there are issues with professional staff, these people know where to go to. These people have channels that they can reach out and say, please help us amplify this. We have been saying the bank should do this. They've not done it. Please help us put it out there.
All right.
These bodies will take
it responsible. Okay, so just so because we understand that you have to round up, let's just talk about some of the possible solutions, just so we don't go on and on talking about the problem without actually trying to proffer a solution to the problem. Now, in your opinion, having experienced this yourself, what do you think should be the measurable steps that should be taken, probably by the Nigerian Labour Congress, by the contract staff by themselves, and basically the government?
Okay, basically the government should should establish a policy that every bank, because these contract staff are more than 60% of the workforce in Nigerian banks, more than, if not up to 70. Yes, the government should establish, like, be categorical about this decision that every bank in Nigeria, after you employ a contract staff, we understand that this contract thing cannot even be abolished because the cabal behind it, they are stronger than even the government of Nigeria. But the government should ensure that after 2 years, there's no point renewing. Absorb these contract staff after 2 years and not even make them go through rigorous processes of trying to absorb them. I understand that a lot of them have gone through different processes just in the name of the bank is trying to converse them. There should be a law. Take them in after 2 years, and it is not you creating another level, another layer of contract staff and put them there. Absorb them just the way let them bear your name, let them become yours after 2 years. The current situation now is they want to absorb some of them, they'll take them and put them below the lowest level of the professional staff. So they give them another name. No, That is inhumane. That is still wicked. That is still upgrading just, just a little bit of contract, just, push them forward a bit. No, absorb them, let them become a line staff in totality.
All right.
All
Do you
right,
understand?
Flora. Yeah.
There should be, yeah.
All right.
I think that would work.
Thank you, Flora, for joining us on the conversation today. We most likely will revisit the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
as other sides to the story evolves, we definitely revisit the conversation yet again. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
I appreciate it.
All
You
right.
too. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Right now we'll go on a break. When we'll come back, we'll dive into other part of the conversation. Right. Just stay with us.